Okay, welcome to the great Terminator NES review. I have one game that's good and one that's bad for you. I guess you would like to see me get on the bad one first and listen to me cussing my head off. And indeed, I would tend to do that because Terminator 1 for the NES is a hell of a game. They made it fucking impossible to beat. What shocks me even more is the fact that this game isn't the real Terminator game, as I saw recently on a video by this guy. He is the happy video game nerd. And for the case you don't know him, he's the one that won the Out-Nerd the Nerd contest on screwattack.com by just simply negating the angry video game nerd style. But I'm not doing this video to bash him. On his video about Journey to Series, he mentioned some amazing knowledge I haven't heard of before.
It's history.
Listen to what he's got to say.
Did you know that Journey to Silius was originally developed as a game based on the first Terminator movie? It's true. There was a tiny article about it in Nintendo Power. And some remnants of the Terminator license are still in the game. Don't believe me? Well, check out this part of the intro music. And the last boss. Recognize him?
Wow, if that's really true, I'm not wondering anymore why that game is so fucking broken. But if Journey to Sirius was the real Terminator game in the first place, where the hell did our Terminator 1 come from? With Sunsoft screwed away in their game, they must have been running short in time and needed a Terminator game to deliver. That's my best guess, because I wouldn't accept any different excuses for this mess. In Terminator 1 everything's completely broken. A jumping animation, for example. Unless you watch that in slow motion, you would never know that he's not trying to rape the air or breaking his friggin' legs. The enemies are somewhat intelligent because they can bungee obstacles, but who the hell is that guy? What's a military dude with a railgun doing here? I can't remember him from the film. And no matter how often I shoot him, he comes back over and over again. The Terminator is a complete joke. First off, he's not looking like one at all. Unless he's lost his human appearance, but why should he have at the very beginning of the game? Secondly, he's doing jack shit. You would expect him to be the deadliest enemy in this game? Fuck balls. The Terminator's a pussy. In most cases you can just jump over him. And he won't even hit you when you stand right next to him. Beside that, he falls down into holes all the time, and so do you, because the jumping part in this game is pure annoyance. You will fall and fall and fall and fall again and again down into these fucking pits. Maybe the slime hurts you sometimes, but in the main part you will die just instantly because you miss a jump, or you just fall randomly through shit, you never know. So the gameplay sucks the big dick. And the music and sounds are not even worth mentioning. And listen to the music. It's almost static. Even Cheetah Man had better music than this. It's unforgivable how terribly bad Terminator 1 is. Not comparable to the sequel Terminator 2. And yeah, I know what you're thinking right now. Terminator 2? Wasn't that made by LJN? Yes, people. LJN made this. That and more games like Jaws, Back to the Future, Beetlejuice and so on. All that. Count to the shittiest that the Nintendo system has to offer. And when people only see these three letters, they run away in fear and disgust. But people, I'm more than that fucking serious. This game is not crappy. There's nothing bad or broken to say about this game. Music and sounds are good, controls work fine, and each level is different from the previous. In level 1 you start at the parking lot and have to kick the butts out of these Guitar Heroes and Street Fighters, which is fairly easy if you avoid fighting more than two at the same time. In the bar you will face this Frankenstein guy, and taking him down is not that easy, okay, but he's a boss, so stand the challenge. Some people rant about the stuff that he requires here. Some boots and more crap. And yes, that's weird, because he already has shoes, a leather jacket and sunglasses. Well, maybe he was naked in an earlier version of that game, and the parental control did not allow that, so they gave him clothes at the start. Might be possible. Level 2 is actually the hardest in the entire game, and you will die several times here until you know how to do it. But since it takes you only 5 minutes to get here, it's not that bad. You've got to avoid shit that's on the road, shoot doors, because if you don't, you die instantly. And watch your back as the T-1000 with a truck under his ass tries to mangle you. So this is very hard. But would you say a hard game is a bad game if everything else is kinda good? Level 3, you free Sarah Connor, and on every stage you've got to check the rooms for elevator cards that will take you to the next level. Destroying the elemental technology that will lead to Terminators is on level 4. You see, the game follows the storyline of the movie pretty well, by selecting the most important sequences out of it and turning them into minigames. Here you have to collect explosives and activate them. Fairly easy thanks to the arrows that guide you. On level 5 you will face the Terminator for the final battle and save the world. Okay, quick recap. Terminator 1 sucks. I wouldn't even call it that way, and take Terminator 2 as the true and only real Terminator game on the NES. So let's leave this piece of shit aside and come to the very end of this review. You see, Terminator 2 is not a bad game at all. It's difficult, okay, but it's the same crap that's happening with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. People who actually like or play the game are way in the minority. And just because of some douchebags or reviewers, I will not tell them my names, you know who you are. They say or they review an LJN game and mention other garbage games they made. Oh, and their impressions are determined. I swear to God, the next person or game reviewer that bitches down Terminator 2, I will make a video out of you and laugh my fucking ass off of your dumbness. So give it a try, it's really not that a bad game. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. So far, thanks for watching.